Season, the 49ers' Colin Kaepernick remains steadfast in his refusal to stand during the National Anthem. The quarterback says he wants to bring awareness to persistent injustices going on in the country. Other players, including teammate Eric Reed, Seahawks cornerback Jeremy Lane, and most recently Broncos linebacker Brandon Marshall, have joined in with similar actions during the anthem. And as Jason mentioned earlier, Doug Baldwin revealed yesterday that the Seahawks will stand arm in arm as a show of team unity before their game this afternoon. And our guy Boomer Esiason has been pretty vocal about this issue as well.
Well, we know one thing, guys, that this has got a lot of layers to it. And I don't necessarily know that we have enough time here to talk about the deeper issues in a 4-minute segment on an NFL game show. So let me just say something about the method of the proposed protest that we're talking about. To millions of Americans, myself included, the national anthem and the American flag that it celebrates are sacred, guys. For over 240 years, it represents sacrifices and freedoms that we all cherish, including freedom of speech, which is what is important here. So many of us have witnessed the poignant moment when a widow or a next of kin receives a folded flag in honor of their military or law enforcement service. And that moment means everything to us, and that's why the flag is so sacred. And when you think about the sight of an NFL football player in an NFL uniform on an NFL field in front of 70,000 people in that stadium and millions more on TV, not standing for the national anthem comes across as insensitive. Now, to sit or kneel for the anthem on a day like today, 9/11, I believe is downright heartless, and hopefully it won't happen. And in my eyes, it really ruins what their message really is. So by all accounts, as you pointed out, JB, what they're going to be doing in Seattle today in a show of unity, I hope that this is a transitional, defining moment to end this discussion.
Well, to your point, Boom, a lot of people will have an issue with the method, but they can't ignore the message. You know, it's never a convenient time or place to fight for what you stand for, to stand up for justice. And as athletes, you know, we represent our communities, and we're their voice a lot of times to the voiceless. And I think what Colin Kaepernick is doing is he's really pushing the conversation forward. You think about what happened with Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and LeBron James. That lasted maybe 2 days. We've been speaking about this for 3 weeks. And look at all the positive change that have happened. You're speaking about what happened in Seattle. You speak about all the money that's been raised to try and bring our communities together. But we can't continue as Americans to sweep things under the rug. We have to put it on the forefront, and we have to make sure that we have a conversation.
Yeah, and you know what, I agree with both of you guys, because I understand what you're coming from, and I understand where you're coming from. But if I bring it back to the locker room, back to me being a teammate of someone like Brandon Marshall or Colin Kaepernick, that is where, as a veteran on the team, I got to get with the other guys on my team and say, is this becoming a distraction? Because that is what would scare me most. Because like it or not, I know you have your political views, and I understand what's coming in your heart, and you're passionate about it, and you have this stage to go out there and have your voice heard and help the voiceless. But at the same time, we're also football players, and we get paid to do what we do, what we love to do. And so I would make sure that before it gets out of hand, make sure that these guys are focused, and I would go to the coach and I would say, hey, we're all together on this, and we still want to go out there and win football games, because once you let that become a distraction, that could hurt your